Friday, we'll get an Iowa Wild puzzle. Saturday's game is Local Heroes Night, and a concert will be held before the game on the South Concourse. Comedian Jim Jeffries is bringing his The Moist Tour to Hoyt Sherman on January 29th. Jim entertains with his thought-provoking comedy. The show starts at 7 p.m. with tickets starting at $39.75. Head out to Drake University as the men's basketball team takes on Loyola on January 30th. Tip-off is at 1 p.m. Masks are required at all indoor spaces on Drake's campus. Want to catch Des Moines? Then catch us at catchdesmoines.com.
The following show on 102.1 FM ESPN is paid for by Outdoors Traditions TV, LLC.
Calling all stations. Clear the air lanes. Clear all air lanes.
All right, welcome to this week's edition of the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan, brought to you in part by our good friends out at Three Rivers Boat and RV Storage out in Carlisle. Hope everyone's having a great Saturday morning all across the good old US of A. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Jim. How are you? Thanks for watching us on Facebook Live. Appreciate that. What a week. What a week, man. It was, but I tell you, it's better than last week, because this time last week we were going through some bad, nasty weather. So it's just kind of crazy. I guess Andrew's on vacation again. He gets almost as much time as Randy Munson now. So we got Kyra man in the controls. Am I saying that wrong? I always want to. Every time I say your name, it's like, did I say it right or wrong? Say how
I don't want to ruin your morning.
No, I said it wrong. Tell everybody, how do you say your name?
It's Kira.
Kira. Like the song. Kira.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I don't know why I always want to put that R-A in there, Kira or Kyra or whatever, but it's Kira. Yeah, there you go. Thanks for coming in again, Kira. I appreciate that. Kira's running the boards. Good morning, Aaron. How are you? So, real quick, Three Rivers Boat and RV Storage in Carlisle. If you're looking for a place to safely stow your gear, consider the fine folks down there at Three Rivers. It's just right down from Wyckoff Heating and Cooling. You can't miss it in Carlisle. They've got just beautiful 20 by 50 foot assigned spots, security gates, 24/7 access, security cameras, multiple spots. You get discounts if you take more than one. You get a discount if you pay for a year up front. You get 1 month free that way, and it's only $60 a month. It's a great deal. That's where I carry a lot of my stuff. Give Tracy, Dick, or Danielle a call at 515-822-1362. Three Rivers Boat and RV Storage. Really nice people down there. Tell them I sent you. So, what a week, huh? We lost to Good Morning, Steve. How are you, buddy? Like off of Reba. Okay, is that a character on Reba?
Sure.
That's what Aaron says. Yeah, it's what he said. Oh man, so we lost the loaf this week. What a bummer, huh? Meatloaf. I'll tell you what, I listen to a lot of different music. I love country music's probably my favorite, and then I grew up in the 80s though, so I was growing up with REO Speedwagon in Kansas and Styx and Marshall Tucker Band and Hank Williams Jr. and did I say REO Speedwagon? I did say REO Speedwagon. Yeah, there you go. Kansas, Rush, Electric Light Orchestra, like the little ELO now and then. But the loaf, man. I mean, when I was in school, man, the loaf was. Yeah, good morning, Fish and Dave. How are you? The loaf was huge. We'd always get together on the weekends and we'd listen to Paradise by the Dashboard Lights or a 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad or Bad Out of Hell. And I mean, it was I don't know, it was just what we listened to back then in the 80s, and it's just sad. The guy was a nice guy. He was from Texas, and it just I know a lot of. Then we lost Louis Anderson. It's like 2 in a row. I mean, back to back. It's just crazy. So you're dropping back into the 70s, Dan. Well, I was born in '64. So, but I was all over the place. But in the 80, 81, 82, when I was in high school, You know, it was a lot of 70s and 80s music. I mean, that's what we played. I used to listen to a radio station down in St. Louis called KC 95. I mean, that was the rock station, and that's what we listened to. And then if I wanted to listen to country music, I listened to WIL, and that was the big country station down in St. Louis. And when I went into the service, I talked about this on Facebook. Actually, when I was in the service, I got pretty homesick because back then we didn't have cell phones or smartphones or iPads or anything like that. We had our Walkmans. We thought we were doing good with our little cassette Walkmans. And I used to have buddies of mine that would tape Joe Mama and what was the other guy's name? Joe Mama Mason and why can I not? Why do I just totally had a brain Joe Mama Mason and gosh, that's awful. I can't remember the other guy's name, and I know the guy. I worked with the guy. Anyway, they used to have a great morning show, and my buddies would send me tapes of the radio station, and it really helped especially when I was overseas and stuff. So, it's always nice, because Kira is from St. Louis, and KC95 was off Watson Road in Crestwood, and Emo's Pizza was right next to it. So you could go to KC95 and pick up like a KC t-shirt and get a pizza. It was awesome. It was just the thing to do back then, But yeah, I was sad to see the Meatloaf go. I actually was up at 3:30 this morning, and I wrote a tribute song to Meatloaf. And I don't want to. I'm not going to sing it to you because I don't want to offend my listeners this morning. But it's with 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And I had to put the Outdoors Dan spin on it, right? So it's baby, we can talk all night. I hear you up there roosted. I told you everything I possibly could. Hang on. There's nothing left inside of me. And maybe you could yelp all morning, but that will never change the way I feel inside. The sun is starting to get real high. I wish you would make your way over here. I poured it on and ran my calls. I tried to show you how much I care. I'm tired of clucks and getting hoarse when I call, but you've been so cold to me for so long. I'm crying icicles instead of tears. So all I can do is keep on calling you. I need you. I want you to bring a Tom later on, but there ain't no way I'm ever going to chase you. Now don't be sad, because 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I told you I didn't want to sing, but it just, the melody kind of comes out. But yeah, not bad for 3 in the morning, So a little, my mind won't shut down. So anyway, I thought it was pretty funny. Oh man, we had a great week. He was one of a kind, man. He was, Gary. He was definitely one of a kind. Thank you very much for that. So I want to say congratulations to Jesse Sims. Jesse won the Grizzly Drifter Cooler off of the Outdoor Call Radio app network. We told everybody if you listen to the phrase that pays this last week, I was going to draw a name yesterday, and I drew the name this morning. So I'll get that cooler out to Jesse. And man, hey, Ed Best in Urbandale, how are you? So if you would like to win something nice, we're trying to give stuff away at least every week or every other week. Just go to the Outdoor. Joe, how you doing, Mr. Joe, down there in Kentucky? Good morning, Dan. Enjoyed talking the other day. I enjoyed talking with you, sir. Good talking to you. If you would like to hear the phrase that pays, or if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're just joining us for the first time. Andrew and I actually started our own online outdoor network. It's called the Outdoor Call Radio, and you can go and listen Monday through Sunday, 24/7. It's all free. You just have to go to if you have an iPhone, go to the your iTunes App Store. If you have an Android, go to the Google Play Store, or if you have Alexa at home, you can just go to the Alexa Skill Store and look under Music and Entertainment and type in the Outdoor Call Radio. The Outdoor Call Radio, and our app will pop up. It's absolutely free, doesn't cost you anything, but you can listen. We've got programming Monday through Sunday, 24 hours a day on there. We've got the phrase that pays, and we're actually doing a new show on Wednesdays. It's totally live. It's called the Wednesday Drive, every Wednesday at 5. But we got some great outdoor communicators. If you love to hunt and fish, we got top fishing guys like Aaron Martin and Jason Mitchell. If you like to hunt, we've got Michael Lee from Backwoods Live. We got the guys from the Outdoor Drive. We got the Keystone Experience, which are Matt and Mountain Man. Those guys are new, but they're trying to gain an audience. We got Fred Eichler the other day. Fred's on every Friday now, so you can chime in and see, listen to everything Eichler. We got some of the best two outdoor chefs in the country, Scott Laseth and Hank Shaw, on Thursdays. And there's more stuff coming. We got hunting, fishing, George Lynch for waterfowl. Good morning, Kent, down there in Missouri. How's my buddy doing? We got waterfowl with George Lynch that you can listen to on Wednesdays. We got the gang from Spurs Up Calls doing a show called Thunder at Daybreak. That's on Mondays. And if you're a target shooter, if you like to shoot archery target or indoor or 3Ds, on Mondays we do a show called Hunting for X's with Nathan Brooks and Darren Christianberry. And those guys are two of the well-known names in the professional shooting ranks in the country, and very well-respected guys, and they're just a lot of fun to listen to. I'm actually learning a lot doing this. I mean, it's not me all the time, which is nice, but just having all these other outdoor communicators on listening. At 8 o'clock today, we're going to actually, Hank had this gentleman on talking about squirrel recipes and squirrel hunting, and we're going to have Jonathan Odell, who is a small game biologist for the Arizona Game and Fish. And I'm going to tell you something. I listened to that show with Hank twice. I learned stuff about squirrels I never knew, and I grew up squirrel hunting. So I can't wait till 8 o'clock. We're going to learn some pretty cool things with Jonathan today on the show, so I hope you get a chance. But anyway, like I said, that Outdoor Call Radio Network is free. It's for you. We're trying to do something that's never really been done in the outdoor industry, having a whole bunch of different outdoor communicators on one platform that's totally free, that you don't have to go search for. Plus, it's got live interaction and weekly deals, and we really are trying to get that to get going and grow. So if you get a chance, share that with your buddies, please, and check it out. So, and if you missed anything that I said, if you want more information, the website's really easy. It's theoutdoorcallradio.com, and it's got all the schedules and all that stuff there. I got a new hat, and it's driving me crazy. I'm really bad about. I miss my snow camel hats. I really do, because I really am not a mesh. In the summer, a mesh hat is great, but I miss my cloth hats. My snow camel, and my dog ate my hats. All two of them. That dog of mine is a hat eating machine.
She's not getting any.
It's a he.
Oh, he's
But
not.
that's all right. I called you Kara, so it's Raven. I don't know why everybody thinks Raven's a girl's name. It's a bird.
It's traditionally a woman's name.
No, it's not.
Raven?
Raven is a bird. A raven is a bird.
You've never watched Teen Titans.
No, I've never watched
Superhero.
I've never watched. See, that's the problem.
She's very cool. She has psychic powers.
No, never.
That's so Raven. It's a sitcom.
Raven, never heard of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I named him after a bird because he's a black lab.
Well, anyway, if he keeps eating your hats, he's not getting any moose meat.
He's not getting any moose meat. I got to get the moose first. The hat looks good. Thanks, Jim. Good morning, Gary. Appreciate that. Good morning, Rhonda. How are you? I appreciate the hat looks fine, but it's not comfortable. I'm picky. All right, 7:12 and some change here on 1350 ESPN. So I said congrats to Jess. We're probably going to give away another Grizzly cooler. But I'm going to probably save that for the Iowa Deer Classic. We are going to be there March 3rd, 4th, and 5th, or 4th, 5th, and 6th, whenever it's in that time zone right there. But I'm going to probably give away a 75-quart hard cooler at the booth. Our booth number is going to be 905. I'm also going to give away a brand new Elite bow. Good morning, Tony. I can't say that on the air. Yeah, that dog of mine, man. I actually had my hat on my dresser. I had my daughter-in-law, Jenny's daughter. Is that how that works? She'd be my daughter-in-law. Is it daughter-in-law or
your wife's daughter?
My wife's daughter.
Daughter-in-law.
Daughter-in-law, right?
Sort of. Well,
stepdaughter. I don't know. The kids got me a really nice camouflage Realtree hat, right? And for Christmas, and I was gonna wear that turkey hunting this year. Well, the dog got mad because I had to go and I had a doctor's appointment the other day, and I couldn't take the dog with me. Right? I'm not gonna take him out. It's like 2 degrees. So I come home. There's cardboard all over the floor, and I'm going, okay, what did you get into, you mutt? And he looks at me. I didn't do nothing. And then I go around the chair, and there's that hat that Katie and Ryan got me. So the hat's gone. The hat's destroyed. So there goes my turkey hunting hat. So now I got to get a different hat. Stepdaughter. Thanks, Jim. The kids. I'll just say the kids. See, I don't like steps. You know, to me, they're part of the family. The only steps in the house should be the one going upstairs and down. Right? They're just part of the family. I just don't. I've never liked the step thing. You know. I don't know. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that dog of mine. Good morning, Skippy. How are you, Skippy? Good to see you. I'm gonna turn it around. That's driving me nuts. Nah, that's even worse. Never mind. All right. So anyway, we're gonna probably give away either a 100-quart or a 75-quart cooler and a brand new Elite bow at the booth. And all you have to do is just come by the booth and say hi. Andrew and I will be there. The gang from Spurs Up Calls are going to be there from down in Mississippi. I think it's Mississippi, or Georgia. It's either Georgia or Mississippi. It's down south. Hey, Paul Butsky, how you doing there, Hall of Famer? My buddy Paul Butsky, super nice guy. Nathan, good morning, buddy. How are you? Well, we got a ton of people watching on Facebook Live this morning. I think they're coming up. They've got a booth at the National Wild Turkey Federation convention. I know Paul's going to be down there, Mr. Butsky, Mr. Turkey. But they're going to come up, and I believe we're going to be giving away a bunch of brand new Spurs Up calls at the Deer Classic too. So I'm excited about that. So, but all you got to do to come by is just come by to see Andrew and me at the Outdoor Call radio booth. And all you'll have to do is just take your phone and download our app while you're there, and you're entered to win right there. Is that not easy? So there you go. Pretty cool. Fun stuff. She is your daughter when you married her mom. Thank you, Aaron. That's kind of what but here's the thing. She's got a dad. Her dad's a nice guy, right? And she loves her dad. And I would never want to try to put anything between, I don't want to, I'm just here. How you doing? If you need something, I'm here to help. That's the way I try to approach all that, right? Because I've got my hands full with my kid, my two. But they're all, the way I look at it, they're all our kids. Because I'll tell you what, Jenny's great with my kids. She loves my kids, and they love her, so. All right, I tell you what, it's 7:16, 7:17 and some change. Let me hit a real quick break, and we'll be right back and see what more fish we can. I do got a fishing report today. We'll talk about that, and there was something else I was going to tell you about. Oh, I need to know from you out there, either on the show, listening on the radio right now, or on Facebook Live. I was thinking about doing a turkey mount giveaway. If you get a nice turkey this year, we'll mount it for you. How do we want to do that? Do we want to do a contest where you send in like your pictures of your birds, or do you want to do like the best score wins? Now, see, I don't know if I really like doing that, because to me, all turkeys are awesome. I don't care what the beard length is, what the spur length is. I think they're all awesome. So I'm trying to think what's going to be the easiest way. I think if what I'm going to do is if you send me a picture with the Outdoor Call radio app and a picture of your bird, I think that's how we're going to do the contest. So I'm lining up a taxidermist right now because it's probably going to cost me $700-800 to do this. But it's worth it. I mean, I've got several turkeys stuffed at home, and I love them. They make a great memory, and someone might get a really good, a really nice turkey this year. Larry last year shot ones with some huge spurs on them, so kind of crazy. But we'll talk about it. All right, let's take a real quick break. We'll be right back on 1350 ESPN.
This is the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoor.
You season them out. I like that, Jim.
Sports Leader, 1350 ESPN.
Hey, have you heard the news about the great new products from Pine Ridge Archery Products? The makers of the video camera support system, the Probo Cam, and the AT5 trail camera. Well, Nathan, I just did the show at Lotta Pop. I can't do it there all the time, man. 50 archery accessories that you will want to get on your bow. This new line includes stabilizers, peep sights, kisser buttons, and the new wrist sling. The wrist sling is totally set-free and is available in different colors, and this will allow you to tune it to your specific grip. So there you go, Tone. Right in the sling without any hang-ups for smoother draws when you're getting ready to shoot your game. These new Nitro products will have you shooting tighter groups with consistency before you know it. Included in these products are tons of colors so you can customize your bow for your favorite college teams like never before. Did I mention all of these products are made in the USA at Pine Ridge Archery's factory in Illinois? That's right, made in the USA of quality materials that will hold up in any weather conditions for die-hard bow hunters like you and me. Check out all these great new products at Sportsman's Warehouse or anytime at PineRidgeArchery.com.
There's a place in Ankeny that's all about the outdoors, and that place is Sportsman's Warehouse. They provide all lines of hunting and fishing gear at the best prices. You can find gear for deer, turkey, waterfowl, elk, or whatever hunting you're into. New products arrive each week to outfit you better. They have a complete
better than
firearms
freezing to
area,
death.
providing the finest firearms and ammunition around. Everything from cleaning equipment to reloading can be.
What's everybody doing today? Doing anything fun?
department is
Anybody
simply
going
the best.
fishing?
They have your favorite tackle like Fluger, Daiwa, Abu Garcia,
Sleeping
Quantum,
in?
and Zebco. From the serious
Yeah.
angler
I'll tell you
to
what,
the
that I don't know
regular
why
fishing
I keep waking up at
Sportsman's Warehouse
3:30.
has
It
all
just
you need.
drives me nuts.
From camping to
Like,
boating,
man,
to the
it's
best
not even
clothes and
time to go
footwear
hunting
like
yet.
Ross and Danner for
What's
the
going
entire
on?
family. That's what you'll find at Sportsman's Warehouse. They're located on Highway 35 on Ore Labor Road, open 7 days a week to serve you. Ask about the seminar series happening every month. Your hometown outdoor store
that feels
should be
better.
Sportsman's Warehouse in Ankeny.
Going to the beach. There you go, Clue Patch. You down in Florida again?
Chick-fil-A nuggets because they are made with love. It's kind of like if you want to go to your grandmother's house for dinner. This will be your real home-cooked meal. You can't go wrong with it.
There you go, Jim. That
Hey,
sounds
y'all,
like
I'm
fun.
Maddie, and something I love about the Chick-fil-A nuggets is their gold color. It lets me know that I'm about to enjoy something hot and delicious. It's just comfort food. It feels good to eat.
Can't believe it's almost February.
Are you into
It's
cooking wild game or grilling? If you are,
1/22/22.
you probably love to
Figure
transform
that
your
out.
wild game into delicious meals or
When's the
great
next
tasting
time that's
snacks.
gonna
High
happen?
Mountain Seasonings
Huh?
has everything you need to help you make some of the
is
best
why
tasting
Hy-Vee already
sausage,
has
snack stick, or
Valentine's Day
jerky
stuff.
around.
Oh,
High
they
Mountain
had
Seasonings
Valentine's Day
offers
stuff
simple
out in
kits you
December.
can easily use at home, including
Yeah, they always
premium
have it out way
low-sodium
early.
blends that will produce wild game snacks your family will love. High Mountain Seasonings makes grilling steak
Man,
or smoking your favorite
it is
meat
roasting in here.
better with their specialty spices, marinades, and rubs for deer, elk, or your favorite
us.
steaks. High Mountain Seasonings.
I'm telling
also
you, Jim,
has
it flies,
taco and
man.
fajita blends that are
what?
spicing up kitchens
open
and
the door
grills
if you wanted, it's
everywhere.
just us
Look for
Is it?
High Mountain
Yeah, I
Seasonings
might do that.
at Sportsman's
Aren't you hot?
Warehouse at your favorite grilling retailer,
really.
or
I
just
don't
go to
think I'll ever be one
HighMountainJerky.com for recipes or to find the closest store near you. High Mountain Seasonings.
Well,
has
they got the
everything
heat
you
crank
need to
today.
make your game or favorite grilling meats taste
Good
great.
morning there, oh, Gary Peck. How you doing, bro? All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio. Next month, all right, 2/22. Dave says next month it will be 2/2/22. That's right. That's crazy, crazy. It's just crazy stuff. I'm telling you, crazy, crazy. All right, Sportsman's Warehouse fishing report, Arrowhead Lake. Hey, Gary, how many fish are you out on the lake this morning, buddy? Are you out in your spear house? He's been sending me all these videos. Maybe next week, Gare. I got to look and see what's going on. Maybe next week. I'd like to get up there. He's a school bus driver, so I can't go during the week because he's got to take care of his kiddies. So it's hard for me to get up on the weekends. So it just is. Arrowhead Lake is reporting 8 inches of ice. Bacon Creek Lake is 8 to 9 inches of ice. They just put 1,500 rainbow trout in there. You go get them. Black Hawk Lake, the winter aeration system in Town Bay is currently operating. Ice thickness is around 10 inches near the ice house. Black crappie are fair. Some fish are picking up our 10 to 11 inch crappie. Those are nice crappie. Bluegill are fair, walleye are fair, and the perch is fair as well. Brushy Creek ice conditions are variable. The thickest ice is by the Big Island near the South boat ramp, and in the area around the North boat ramp as well. Crappies are good, gills are good, and yellow perch are slow. Storm Lake, ice thickness is around 10 to 12 inches in most area. Conditions remain variable. Open water near the Big Island. Eyes are fine. The white bass are fair, and yellow perch are fair. Let's see. Sounds good. Hopefully you can make it up. I'm trying, Gary. I want to get up there and spear some of them big northerns, man. Clear Lake, ice thickness is 0 to 14 inches. 0? Clear Lake has a protected slot on walleye. All walleye between 17 and 22 inches must be immediately released unharmed. No more than one walleye longer than 22 inches may be taken per day. Black crappie bite is slow. Gills are fair. Walleye are fair. Yellow bass are slow. Perch are fair. Lake Cornelia is reporting 10 to 12 inches. The bass are fair using a small jig tip with a wax worm. Rice Lake, the bluegill bite is fair. Walleyes are slow. Perch are slow. Silver Lake is reporting 10 to 14 inches of ice. Bluegills are slow. Upper Pine is 8 to 10 inches. Gills are good. Try a small minnow or on a plastic bait in 12 to 15 feet of water. Gills are also good using a small jig tipped on a waxy. Let's see. East Okobojo Lake, most of the lake is fully iced, an average of 14 plus inches, allowing for safe ATV traffic in most areas. Bluegill bite is good. Pan fishing has been good out from the Ritz. Some sorting needed. Heavy tungsten jigs, plastics, and baits all producing good fish. Crappie bite good. Gills are good. Try jigging with tube jigs or a tungsten jig and live bait. Lost Island Lake, the yellow perch is fair. Lots of sorting may be needed. Minawashita, the panfish and crappie bite has been fairly good with the recent onset of ice. The bite is good enough that live bait doesn't have to be needed. Ice conditions are safe enough to venture out with ATVs. It's 14 plus. Black crappie bite is fair. Bluegills are good, and the pumpkin seeds are fair as well. Scharnberg Pond, trout were stocked in mid-January. Should be plenty of rainbows in there for you to go chase after. Silver Lake, walleye bite is fair on silver. Spirit Lake is fully iced. Conditions can vary. Ice thickness is plus 14 inches in most places. Black crappie bite is fair. Gills are fair. Yellow perch are fair as well. West Okoboji 14 inches plus. Gills are good. Crappie bite is good. A lot of anglers are being successful off of the north end of the lake trying tube jigs or tungsten jigs with live bait, and they've got those walleye conditions set. So be aware of that if you can. Rathbun right now is current lake level is 904, and no fishing reporting there. I'm sure there's fish. They just didn't do a report. Red Hawk Lake, the ice thickness varies. Target areas was smudged. Habitat, use small jigs tipped with the waxies in areas around the habitat that is submerged. How about that? 3 Mile, ice thickness is about 8 inches off the main boat ramp. Geese are keeping an area of open water on the south end of the lake. Walleye bite is slow. Try minnows fished along the roadbed or in flooded timber areas near the creek channels to catch walleyes of all sizes. Yellow perch is slow. They are reporting yellow perch up to 10 inches with jigs tipped with a waxy fished off the roadbed. And there you go. There's your fishing report for the day. How about that? Not a problem. We're there for you. So I got my Pure Crappie hat in the other day. My friends at Pure Whitetail started a new company this year called Pure Crappie. So I'm hoping Sportsman's carries some of their baits. And then I got my buddy down at Bojangle Baits in Missouri. He makes some really good baits. I'm hoping Sportsman's pick some of those up as well. So be nice. But I like the hat. The hat's nice. Jenny didn't like it. She goes, "That's too busy." I said, "Hun, crappie like flashy things. I want the crappie to jump in the boat."
Paint the picture for us. What does it look like?
It's got a black rim and it's got like a yellow teal bill. Or this is the, what would you call that? This would be the front. The front? Yeah, and then it's got a black mesh back.
Oh, that sounds nice.
I like it. It's got a big hook, a big crappie hook right here. You know?
Okay.
I thought it was. It's a good fishing hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want a nice fishing hat when I'm fishing. Yeah, so always good to have a hat. And I cannot find a snow camel hat to save my life. I've been on every website I can find to find a Realtree snow camel hat that I could buy to get that I could have the outdoor call radio embroidered on. Can't find them. I just can. I'm about ready to call Realtree and say what's going on. Everybody's out. It's crazy. Everybody is out on backstock. It's just not hunting. You know, we've been talking about the ammunition shortage for a long time. It's not only the ammo. It's fishing gear. It's camping gear. I talked to my buddies at Camprite yesterday or the day before, and they've got containers they've been waiting on for 6 months. They just got a bunch of sleeping bags in, but the tent cots and some other stuff have not made it back in yet. So they're probably not going to have inventory until May or June, which is crazy because everybody's going to be camping in May and June. You know, again, here's what happened. We've got supply line issues, and I'm not going to get into the politics of it. I haven't talked politics in 2 years, and I'm kind of glad I'm not. I'm just sick of the whole thing. But we've got supply line issues now that we didn't have before. We had the COVID hit. So we've talked about this 100 times. When the COVID hit, what was the only thing people could really go do and feel safe doing? Well, that was getting outdoors. They could go bike riding. I just talked to my buddy Forrest Ridgeway at Bike World. They're having trouble. They just ordered like 65, 70 different bikes, and it's going to be a while for those bikes come in. It's everything. I mean, you talk about freezers. When I tried to buy a freezer this year, the people where I buy my freezer stuff said, Dan, it's 6 months out, and we don't know when they're coming in. Look, when we have Joe on from Carl Chevrolet, they're starting to get vehicles and stuff in, but it's not at the volume that they want, because the chip issues and everything else. Keep the hat from the dog, Dan. I will try to keep the fishing hat from. I put it up real high, Tony. So he's going to have to work to get that one. Yeah, I don't want him to get my fishing hat. But what was I talking about? I was
Supply lines, shortages, COVID.
Yeah, and what was we talking about before? The fishing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the terminal tackle. Now Sportsman's is full. I went in there the other day. And the pegs looked really good. The store looked pretty flush. But you know what? I'm going to tell you the same thing I told you about deer season and slugs. If you're going turkey hunting this year or you're going fishing, I would be in Sportsman's Warehouse right now. Well, you got to wait till they open. Don't do it like right now. But wait till they open at 10. And I would get in there and get your tackle and get your shells, get your decoys, get everything you're going to need. Because by the time March gets here, folks, there's going to probably be a lot of empty shelves waiting for reorder, and I actually had people email me saying I can't go deer hunting, I can't find any slugs, and it's like, thank you, Ryan. Oh, I don't know what I just swallowed, but I just swallowed something there. What was that? Was that a bug? Protein. Didn't have my breakfast this morning. Something went down the wrong way there. Should have bought your stuff after season last year. I'm telling you, Jim, you can't wait right now. You can't. I just went and sold one of my shotguns. I haven't even had a shot it. I bought it 2 years ago, and I bet you it's already gone. I got pretty much what I paid for it. I went to JLM Guns, and I had an over and under 20 gauge, and I just, this is silly. I'm not going to get a chance to upland hunt this year or next year probably. It's just been sitting there, and with all the money I've been putting into the new network and stuff, that'll help. So I went and I got top dollar for it, but man, I tell you what, guns and ammo are still flying off the shelves. So don't wait. Turkey season's going to be here, and you don't want to be out there, if you're a bow hunter, you're okay. Arrows and stuff have been okay, broadheads and arrows, and I still got all my decoys and stuff, so I'm good there, but yeah, I would not wait. Don't wait. Don't wait, because you could be out there. I can't yelp now because it's still in my throat. You'd be out there, whatever, and no shells. Not good. Daisy found a shed den. Yeah, they're dropping. The deer have been dropping for about a week now, a week to 10 days. So, yeah, and we still got that the antlerless season in the 5 counties, don't we? That's coming up here, or coming to an end here soon. I'll get to that later. Anyway, Let's hit a real quick break. We'll be right back on 1350 ESPN.
You're listening to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 1350 ESPN.
Need t-shirts for your school, special events, fundraisers, or apparel for your business? Don't buy online. Buy local from America's Best Apparel in West Des Moines. Take your ideas to them, and their staff members will help you design that t-shirt you'll be proud to wear. Get that personal attention not available online.
Yeah, Deer Classic tickets today.
Fast turnaround time, great prices, and always satisfaction guaranteed. Start creating your t-shirts now by calling
I can't yelp.
515-223-4422.
Never really was a good yelper by my voice anyway.
Tacticam has launched the best-in-class cellular trail camera, the #1 selling action camera in the industry. The new Reveal by Tacticam will change the way you scout forever. Not only is it one of the easiest to set up, but the most affordable cellular camera on the market. As you know, you educate your game and leave your scent when checking cameras in the field. With Reveal, those issues are gone. You can receive pictures in almost real time right to your app without going into the field. The Reveal offers half-second trigger speeds, detects game from up to 96 feet away in 4G and LTE wireless modules. Verizon and AT&T plans.
I know what it is. I was trying to sing Meatloaf earlier, and it's still in here.
The plan starts as low as $5 a month. The Reveal's world-class app allows you to set up your camera, add cameras, view and organize pictures, and much more.
The bat needs to get out. That's right.
As low as $5 a month. The new Reveal by Tacticam saves time, gas, and most importantly, helps you stop educating your game. RevealCellCam.com for more info.
Hi, this is your old friend Speed over at Speed's Golf Cart.
Hey, Speedy.
In Wall Lake, Iowa.
Good morning, Jeff. How are you, buddy? Things good in Illinois?
We've got a nice selection of new onward carts, as well as a good mix of utility carts as well. We've got a number of pre-owned golf carts in all types of price ranges. Available with fancy wheels, stereo. We've got it here at Speed's Golf Carts. Let the folks at Speed's handle your golf cart needs.
It is cold. Not as cold as it was the last 2 days, though, man. It's been miserable the last 2 days.
Our dogs are part of the family, and we want to protect them at all times.
Miserable.
Do you live in an area that you want to keep open and not have a traditional fence to protect your pet? No worries. Call Chris at Pet Stop of Des Moines. Chris Spoltra is the owner of the Pet Stop franchise in the Des Moines area and has been keeping pets safe for over 19 years. A Pet Stop system will not only keep your pet from leaving your desired area outside, but can also be set up to keep your pet out of areas in your home.
What are you doing the rest of the day?
Is underground, keeping your property open and easy to maintain. Plus, with a friendly user app on your phone, you can customize the Pet Stop system to help your dogs enjoy their playtime and stay safe at the same time. For more information on how to protect your buddy and keep your home looking great, call
I kind of felt bad for you when you had to hang out the other day.
Or go online at petstop.com. Pet Stop of Des Moines. Outdoors Dan recommended and Raven approved.
That's the hat I miss right there.
Let's talk about a story. An Iowa story about a dream that took several years to come true in Osceola, Iowa. It's the story of Revelton Distilling Company. These fine distilled whiskeys, gins, and vodkas were born from the labor of Rob and Christina Taylor. It's amazing hearing the customers' descriptions of how unique each bottle looks and how each spirit tastes and satisfies with every sip. From the honey whiskey to the whiskey and cream, or the robust mulberry gin, American gin, or vodkas. Revelton Distilling visitors can't believe the flavor profiles the mixologists are creating at the distillery every day. Revelton Distilling
Deer Classic is at the Iowa Event Center.
They're located at
Jeff, and it's March 4th through the 6th.
Revelton Distillery fine spirits are also available at your local
March 4th through the 6th.
other retailers around.
It's going to be a good show this year. Good show. Little Ed Sullivan there for you.
If it's
a good
time to celebrate or just time to sit back and unwind, well, then it's time for a Revelton moment.
Yeah, I don't need anybody to bring me hats there, but thank you. Good morning, Lauren. All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan. This fine Saturday morning, all across the good old US of A. Hope everyone's staying warm and doing well. Got a big RV show coming up over in Ankeny. It's the not Ankeny. It's down at the fairgrounds. Sorry, fairgrounds is not in Ankeny. It's in Des Moines. I'm sorry, just kind of got a little discombobulated there. My GPS was off. It's going to be February 3rd through the 6th. I should be getting tickets for that. So we'll give some tickets away if you want to go see the new latest and greatest in RVs and stuff like that. Well, good guy. Jeff, I hope you do make the Deer Classic. It'd be a lot of fun. Let's see. Imperial RV will be one of the contributors out there, so I'll let you know when I get tickets on that. Hopefully, I'll get them in the next week or so. Iowa Deer Classic is coming soon, March 4th, 5th, and 6th. We're going to be at booth 905. One of the seminar speakers is one of our partners here on the show and a contributor to the Outdoor Call Radio Network, Michael Lee from Backwoods Life TV. You can watch Michael and Kevin and the gang on the Sportsman's Channel each and every week. Him and Kevin are going to be there at the Deer Classic talking about scent control. Good morning, Ken. How you doing, bud? Good to see you. Can't wait to have Michael Lee up here. If it's cold, man, them guys in the South, man, they don't like the cold weather. I remember every time we had, what was that fishing thing we used to have? Was it February? The big fishing thing we used to have, the Great Outdoor Show, or it was down at the fairgrounds? I think it was in February. Last time Shaw Grigsby was up here, Shaw lives in Florida, and it was like 20 degrees, and I thought he was going to freeze to death. I said, this isn't nothing, man. He goes, this is nuts. I said, well, that's because you're used to running around at 75 degrees all the time. You know, this is nothing. Good morning, Malcolm. What's going on, buddy? Mr. Jones? I'm just doing the show, bro. Just doing the show. That's all I'm doing. Talking to the folks. So, Backwoods Life is going to be there. They're going to be doing seminars on scent control. I don't know if Larry and the gang are going to be there, but I think Larry's coming up, but I don't think Larry's doing seminars this year. But hopefully him and Philip. George Lynch is going to be doing seminars on waterfowl. I know that. And waterfowl, maybe turkey. So George told me the other day that they hired him to do that. So George Lynch and Michael Lee are two of the show seminar speakers I know for sure. Fishing Dave, the Des Moines Boat. That's it. The Des Moines Boat and Sports Show, Fishing Dave. That's it. That was a great show, man. I missed that show. That was fun. Remember when they had the big fish tank, John McLaughlin? Remember Johnny Mac from Channel 8? He's been gone too long, man. I miss John. I haven't talked to him in a while, too. I need to call him, see how he's doing. But, man, he used to get on there and flip his little flat fishing rod and do his little flipping bass fishing demonstration. Man, Danny, when I first moved up here 20 years ago, Danny was only 2. And I used to carry him around that show on my shoulders all day. And, gosh, I miss that. I do. I miss that a lot. He loved to watch the fish. He'd sit there and just tap on the tank. I want to play with the fish. A little stinker. Now he's 21 and he's busy. He came over last night and spent 5 minutes. I gotta go, Dad. All right, you spent your 5 minutes. Get out of here. I gotta go, Dad. I got a life. I don't have time for you anymore. It's making me cry. Teared up a little bit. I did. I went to the other room and teared up, cried. Let's see. Beast Feast. Will you do me a favor? Call Smelter and see if you can get him on the line for me. Will you do that, please? The Beast Feast is February 19th. That's coming up pretty quick. If you want information about our tables or tickets for that, just go to thefamilycancernetwork.org online, and if you pull that website up, there's going to be a little sticker right in the middle of the website. It says Beast Feast. Just click on that, and you can get your tickets right there. But they got some really cool stuff. They're going to be raffling off a brand new four-wheeler this year. They got a Honda Triax 420 ATV. And that's going to be kind of cool. We got some really cool outdoor stuff on the online auction. And you got Joe? Let's go see what Joe's up to real quick. What are you doing, Smelter?
Just hopping in my truck. How you doing?
I'm good. I need to get you on early because we're going to have a guest on today from Arizona talking about squirrels. And you know how I love my squirrels.
You are a squirrel.
Squirrel! Squirrel! Yeah, I'm telling you, this guy knows more about squirrels. Good morning, David. How to see you. Knows more about squirrels than anybody I've ever met in my life. And he's a small game biologist in Arizona. So I'm really looking forward to this conversation.
So he looks at squirrels like his family. So those like his kids and all that stuff, grandkids, everything, huh?
I don't know. He shoots them and eats them. I actually heard him. I actually heard him on Hank Shaw's podcast on the cooking or Tasty Thursdays on the Outdoor Call Radio Network.
Yeah.
Hank Shaw, who does Hunter, Angler, Gardener, Cook. Hank is probably one of the more prolific outdoor chefs in the country. He's James Beard award-winning chef, which is like, I mean, that's like winning the Super Bowl in the culinary world. I mean, really, it is. I mean, that's one of the top honors. And
look some of those recipes up.
oh man, just go to Hunter, Angler, Gardener, Cook, or just listen to the network on Thursdays.
Okay.
It's all free.
Good.
You should be telling every customer that comes to Carl Chevrolet, have you downloaded the Outdoor Call radio app yet?
I'll have to ask them.
Yeah, because I'm running your commercials on there, and you should be promoting that, Joe.
I will.
Yeah, he won't. He won't. So
I have to get into my memory bank whenever I talk to customers because it's like repetitive talking to customers. Like I say the same thing, go over the same things. I need to revamp it and make it better.
Well, now I don't feel so good. You know, everything should be specialized for that special customer. Shouldn't be repetitive. You know, what are you looking for? What is your trade-in, and how can we make this happen today? You know,
that's what I say.
What is your needs? I'm here for you. Now, you need a little bit more to make this deal happen? Well, you know what? I'm going to throw in a year subscription for free to the Outdoor Call Radio Network.
There you go.
There you go.
That's like a great idea.
I just gave you a closing deal right there. That's going to close 70% of your truck sales right there.
I think more.
Probably. I'm being humble about it.
The value to that is just...
Yeah, just tell them, and then when they ask you how much the app is, just say, well, it's free, but I'm giving it to you for free. Yeah. I will never charge for anybody to listen to that network. It'll always be free because I want folks to learn about hunting and fishing and camping and cooking, and my sponsors are helping me pay for that, and I'm not trying to make money on the listeners.
No, that's the best part about it.
Absolutely. It's all free. It's just like Carl. When I come to Carl Chevrolet, I know I'm going to get stuff free.
Oh, you are?
Well, I always do. Whenever you go to the financing people, I'm always taking one of your mugs or several of your pens. I get stuff free all the time.
I think
he just knows where to go. He just goes to Brett and then winds to Brett is what he does.
Do what?
I said you just go wind to Brett and then he gives in.
Well, I do that. I do go wind to Brett. I do. Brett.
Fight for it.
Hey, I love Brett Moyer. I think Brett Moyer is a great guy. Every time I go in there and knock on that door and say, Brett, I need a little help, buddy. He comes back and helps me out, and what do? I sign the deal.
You sign the deal.
I do.
Yeah, he just gives you that little extra piece of candy, and then you're good.
I'm good. Yeah.
You're good.
I'm good. Hey, you don't know unless you ask.
You never know. You know, I've learned a lot through that business, and that's one thing you never know until you ask.
That's the number one thing people make a mistake in sales. They don't ask for the sale.
Or just in general, too.
Yeah. Yep. I'm an asker. I ask all the time.
You do that. I can attest that you do ask that all the time. You might ask it more than once, maybe.
Oh, I guarantee I ask more than once.
I know you do.
Yeah, it takes an average person 3 to 4 times to say yes. So I make sure I get to that quota every time.
It takes 3 no's to get a yes.
Yeah, well, probably more than that, but it's just I just know where I need to do. If I'm at my end with you, I'll be right back, and I go knock on Brett's door.
Joe, I'm going to go get a Mountain Dew. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know the owner. I'm going to be right back.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. So what's going on now? Did you get your chips and stuff in yet? Are you? I know you said
we're getting like our final last 21s in. Majority of those are sold, but we're starting to get some more 22s in. Not next month, but March is when they're going to start production on the new Silverado design.
Mm-hmm.
So we should start seeing those drop probably right around April is my guess. So it'll be pretty exciting to see what the new design is, the new model. Like the biggest exciting part about it is the ZR2. So that's like the true all off-road Silverado trim package that they added.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
So it's going to be more aggressive than what the Trail Boss is. So if customers out there, including yourself, have the Trail Boss, it's just going to be one step above in terms of aggressive styling and off-road use and all that stuff. So hopefully we'll see some of those arrive in April, and then things are getting a little bit better. So
well, hey, Now I'm you got me curious now.
I'll have to send you some pictures.
Yeah, send me some pics. All right, where can they find you?
1101 Southeast or Labor at the Rock, and I'll be here till 6 today.
All right, and sometime next week I'll try and stop by and drop some Deer Classic tickets off for you to hand out.
Oh, can't wait. Those are the best.
All right, I'll talk to you later, pal.
All right, buddy. See ya.
Thanks, Joe. There he goes. Parker, good to see you this morning. You be careful going to work. All right, it is 7:49 and some change. I need to hit one last quick break, and we'll be right back on 1350 ESPN.
This is the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on Des Moines Sports Leader, 1350 ESPN.
Oh, no. That's late.
Hey everybody, Outdoors Dan here. Let me ask you a quick question. Are you a hunter? If you are, there's a group that I will...
Hey, Neil, the Virgin Islands. What are you doing in the Virgin Islands? Good for you. Get a little conch chowder, are you?
Did you know hunting in Iowa?
Man, I haven't had that in a while.
Huge economic resources to our state. Hunters buy tags and permits every year so they can hunt here.
Last time I was there, I was doing some good diving, though. There was some good scuba diving down there.
Guides all over the state of Iowa.
I couldn't even get in a wetsuit anymore. I'd look like a humpback whale.
Anti-hunting groups are working hard
I'd probably need like 150 pounds of weight to get me down.
Businesses all across the state to protect If you want to learn more about Hunting Works for Iowa, or if you're interested in becoming a partner, please go check out their website at Hunting Works for Iowa.
Hey, there you go, man. That sounds good. Conch fritters. Oh, that's a good shellfish, man.
Is your hunting, fishing, or utility knife ready for any task? Well, if you use the original Work Sharp knife,
if you got Work Sharp, it is.
You bet they are. The Work Sharp knife and tool sharpener is designed to sharpen every knife you own. By using changeable, flexible, abrasive belts, the sharpening system is able to sharpen a variety of knives, including curved and serrated knives, tonto blades, fillet knives, gut hooks, axes, and even kitchen knives. The Work Sharp knife and tool sharpener does this with precision angle sharpening guides and flexible abrasive belts.
You think it's light in Texas yet?
Every time. Probably. Each Work Sharp knife and tool sharpener is assembled in the USA by a family-owned and operated company. Customer service is always a call away. So if you love the outdoors and depend on a sharp knife, consider checking out one of the Work Sharp knife and tool sharpeners or the Work Sharp guided field sharpener.
I guarantee it's way warmer in Texas than it is here. He's out Sandhill Crane hunting.
That's worksharptools.com.
We all want the deadliest broadheads out there. Have you tried a slick trick? Slick tricks are one of the most accurate and deadliest broadheads on the market. No matter which slick trick model you choose, the Raptor trick, the Viper trick, the Magnum, the Wicked trick, the Grizz trick 2, or the standard slick trick, they all offer bone-crushing penetration with superior cutting diameters.
I know we're giving away a shoulder mount this year on the Outdoor Call Network. We got a shotgun. We're going to be giving away a brand new shotgun. I've got camo certificates coming from Game Hide. You're going to get like a $50 certificate to get some camo of your choice on the website. Camprite, whenever they get their gear in, I should be giving away a camping package. So that's going to be really nice. And then we got some bows to give away. Uh-oh. Just got a text from Stewie.
This year, trick 'em.
Stewie's out hunting. Stewie.
Tag your game.
Hey guys, Jackie Bushman here with Buckmasters. When it comes to food plot seed and deer feed, the Mississippi-based Backwoods Attractions product line has you covered. From their food plot blends like Trophy Acre, Lazy Acre, Clover Deluxe, and the popular Dixie
Matt
6,
Stewart's out there doing some goose
Game
hunting.
Changer, Sweet Stuff, and Buck Robber. The best way to put it is, if you're not using Backwoods Attraction products, you better hope your neighbor isn't either. From small to large acreage, Backwoods Attraction has the feed and seed perfect for your hunting property. So do yourself a favor and swing by and support your local co-op or farm supply store and ask for Backwoods Attraction to set yourself up for a successful
I need to give some broadheads away too. We'll give away some slick tricks. I got some Viper tricks and standards at home. We'll give away. Let's do that next week. I'm going to give away a pack of broadheads next week on the Outdoor Call Radio. So you need to listen starting Monday. Go to the Outdoor Call Radio Network on the app. Go get that app, iTunes, Google Play, or Alexa, and listen for the phrase that pays and email me. Just listen. Just all you got to do is email me the phrase that pays and you could win. Yeah, Aaron, I just can't. It's hard for me to get crossbows right now, bud. I've been trying. All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 1350 ESPN. Hope everyone's having a great Saturday all across the good old US of A. So we told you about the Beast Feast. That's going to be February 19th at Stony Creek Inn. There's going to be live music there this year. I'm really excited about that. We'll be telling you more about that, plus the wild game dinner and all that. All the proceeds of that go to help people here in Central Iowa and their families fighting cancer. I told you about the Deer Classic, the RV show, so I'm pretty much caught up. So we're doing good today. I'm telling you what. Told you about that. Told you about that. Told you about that. And I just told everybody on Facebook Live. Dave Jones, I'm hunting. That's my taxidermist. All right, he's hunting. That's okay. I was just talking about you. That's okay. Just talking about you on the show. Talking about you he's down in Texas, Sandhill crane hunting on the radio. And that's just talking about you on the radio. So, hey, and I forgot to tell. Wait a minute, Matt Stewie's on here. Dano, we're shooting some sky carp. Sent you a pic. I got it, Matt. I got it, Stewie. Congratulations, buddy. My buddy Stewie. He's going moose hunting with me in Alberta. Yeah. Ooh. Got to work on my moose calls. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, every show you should update us on how your moose call practice is going. How's it going?
Ooh. Getting bad. Getting bad. That's what it's doing. It'll be better. It'll be better. Ooh. You gotta break branches and rake stuff across the trees like the moose are tearing them up out there and doing the cow calls. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. I'm telling you. Me in Canada moose hunting. Can't wait for September. And getting ready for that it's a great lead-in. Thank you very much for my next thing. I'm kind of getting choked up again. Moose hunting. Herman's Fine Jewelers. I'm actually going to take some of my stuff over to Herman's and I'm going to trade it in so I can get some moose hunting gear. That's right. I'm going to go to 2900 University Avenue in West Des Moines. It's stuff I just don't use anywhere anymore, and I'm not going to keep it. So instead of sitting in my jewelry box or on my dresser collecting dust, I'm taking it over to Herman's, to Don and Frank, and I know they're going to give me top dollar, and I can go and buy me some moose hunting gear that I can use this September. I'm excited. I got all my turkey stuff. I'm already ready for turkey, crappie, and walleye. I need to get moose wear ready. Moose wear. It's moose. That's what's on my brain right now. Even when I'm turkey hunting this year, I'm going to be visualizing moose so I can just get used to the movements. Those turkeys are going to be like huge this year, so I won't miss because I'm going to be visualizing a moose.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's how it works. Yeah, because I'm telling you, this is a bucket list trip for me. This will probably be the only time in my lifetime I get to do this. So I'm so excited that we're going to get to go and film it and put it on TV. And yeah, even if I miss, we're going to show it. So, because I'm telling you, it's a moose. And man, I hope I get a moose because we're gonna have moose burgers. It's gonna be a festival. I'm telling you, moose. We're gonna moose it up here on the show. So anyway, Herman's Fine Jewelers, 222-2600, 222-2600, over there at 2900 University in West Des Moines. If you have fishing or hunting needs and you need a little more money to go get some swag, take your stuff that you're not using anymore in Herman's. Or if you want to go buy something for Valentine's Day or you're getting engaged, well, then go over to Herman's and they'll hook you up. They've got over 10,000 diamonds and mountings in stock. And they do in-store, on-site jewelry repair. So they can even do that for you. Great people over there. I love Herman's. All right. Hey, John. Spurs up, baby. Spurs up. That's John with Spurs up. That's why we're saying Spurs up. All right. I got to go. But then we'll be back. We're going to be talking squirrels. If you love squirrels as much as I do, it's going to be a fun hour. So keep it here on 1350. Don't flippy. Don't do the flippy. Stay with us. We'll be back on 1350 ESPN.
You're listening to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 1350 ESPN.
In these times when a lot of us are working from home, it's even more important to make sure your home is the right temperature and comfortable. Now is a great time to call the experts at Wyckoff Heating and Cooling at 287-6000 to schedule a check on your current heating and cooling systems. Is your house too dry and giving your family issues? A Honeywell dehumidifier system installed with your AC heating system can solve that issue right away. Wyckoff Heating and Cooling is a family-owned and operated business that has been serving Iowa residents and businesses for over 70 years. They offer 24-hour service and programs like the Peace of Mind Plan for less than $15 a month. So if you want more time on the water or in the woods this year, please call the folks at Wyckoff Heating and Cooling for any of your home or business heating and cooling needs. One call to Wyckoff Heating and Cooling will bring you peace of mind under your roof every day.
Whether it's camping, hunting, or fishing, you want your camping setup to be easy and your stay as comfortable as
John, I'd love to come down there and hunt with you, buddy. We might have to talk about that.
Campsite employees are outdoor enthusiasts that use and design each product to make sure your adventures are ones you'll want to.
I know I'm going to hunt here in Iowa, and I'm going to go to Kansas. Morning, Daniel. How you doing, bud? I know I'm going to go to Kansas. I go there every year. I might go to Pennsylvania and film a show, turkey show there. But if I don't go see Rob and the guys at Mountain Man and them guys in Pennsylvania, we might slide down there to a little turkey hunt with you.
Quality outdoor products with over 17 years of field.
I don't know if I've ever hunted down in your area. I haven't hunted Pennsylvania either. I might be doing a seminar in Pennsylvania, so I just got to see if how that's gonna what's the deal is. So, but I can't wait for turkey season, man. It's gonna be a fun time. Can't wait to start seeing that little head pop over that little knoll. Get that old arrow drawn back. It's gonna be fun. I love turkey hunting. Elk hunting is probably my favorite. Now this moose thing's probably going to go to the top of the list because I just can't imagine being that close to a 1,600 pound animal like that. That's just going to be rad on crazy. I can't wait for that. But I've been elk hunting 9 times and I've shot 2 elk with my bow, and that is awesome. That elk hunting, turkey hunting is my 3rd favorite, and I love deer hunting. I love it all, but elk hunting's like turkey hunting on steroids, and I can't imagine what the moose is going to be like.
Central Standard Restaurant is located at 1222 Southeast University.
Oh, for the moose? Yeah, I've got my limited clothes that I wear, John, and a lot of folks don't know this, but if you got a limited clothes on, everywhere your body's covered, mosquitoes will not bite you. It repels mosquitoes too. So that's the nice thing about a limited by game hunting. Are you ready? All right, welcome back to hour number 2 of the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan. Good Saturday morning to you. The hour number 2 is brought to you by the fine folks at Elite Archery. Have you taken the shootability challenge yet? If you haven't, I invite you to go to your nearest Elite dealer. We've got a couple here in Iowa. We've got our fine friends over there at Archery Field and Sports in Altoona, and then we also have the folks over at Sportsman's Warehouse. I know Mark and the gang's got the Basin and the Terrain and the Envision in. I've got 2 Envisions on order right now. I haven't got them yet, but I can't wait to get them. That is what I'll be turkey hunting with this spring. And they completely changed the game this year. That new Envision is a shorter bow, but the riser is longer to make it more stable and quiet. They've got wider limbs this year and limb pockets. They actually took the set technology, which in my humble opinion is the best game-changing thing about any bow manufacturers come out with in the last 3 years. That set technology, you don't have to tune your bow. You can take an Elite bow out of the box. You don't have to put it in the bow press at all. You can tie a string loop on there, draw it back, put your rest on, make sure all your anchor points are there, and tie your loop in, and then you can go ahead and shoot through paper. And with that set technology, there's no more putting shims in or putting twists in the cables or doing all that stuff we used to have to do to get our if we had any cam lean or tears out. We don't have to move our rests in and out anymore. We don't have to do that stuff. All you got to do is loosen a screw on the riser on the top, or loosen the screw on the bottom of the riser, and there's 2 little sets. Little Allen little deals that you can turn to the left or the right. And when you shoot through paper, if you got a left tear, you do a little bit like a quarter turn to the right, do the opposite way, and you take another shot. If you don't have a complete bullet hole, all you got to do is just turn it one more time, both ends, and you're going to have a complete bullet hole within 2 or 3 shots. Your bow is tuned. And what's really nice about the set technology is if you're shooting broadheads, remember how you did, in order to get tune heading, your broadheads to tune downfield to get consistent tight patterns, we'd either have to move the rest in or out or take poundage off our limbs, either put poundage on or take poundage off. Don't need to do that anymore. Use your set technology. No more moving your rest or moving your weight, and you're going to be able to fine tune your broadheads like you've never have before. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. If you want to see what I'm talking about, go to elitearchery.com or go see Archery Field and Sports or talk to the folks at Sportsman's, and they'll show you why I think the shootability challenge is worth taking. Let's go to the phones. We got our friend Jonathan Odell on, and he's gotten up early for us this morning. Jonathan, good morning, sir. How are you?
Morning, Dan. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. I've been waiting for this all week, man. I told everybody in the first hour, I was listening to you and Hank do the Hank show on our Outdoor Call Radio Network. Hank is kind enough to let us air his shows on Thursdays with Scott Laseth. And they do our outdoor cooking content. And I listened to your podcast with Hank twice. That was some of the most fascinating things I've ever heard about squirrels in my life.
Well, good. Squirrels are awesome. You know, people don't give them enough credit.
Squirrels, they might be a rodentary, a rodonti, however you want to say rodent in your little circles. But they are the tastiest rodent I've ever ate in my life, and they don't get enough credit, Jonathan.
No, squirrels are actually very cool. Most American hunters don't realize how important squirrels were in shaping our hunting history and everything else. And they're part of the problem is that squirrels are some of the least studied animals, I think, when you look at all the game species.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and I'll be honest with you, I knew a little bit about this, but I actually got your show with Hank reminded me the Native Americans relied on squirrels very heavily.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you still see it a little bit. The Inuit tribes up in the snowy white north. They still go out. They harvest caribou. I mean, there's all the game imaginable you could think of up in the Arctic. But the elders of the tribe prefer to still eat the Arctic ground squirrels. So a lot of the hunters that go out usually try and pick off a few just for the elders. I don't know if it's by that time your teeth are kind of worn down and it's hard to chew on some bigger pieces of meat, but they still prefer the taste of that. So.
Yeah. Hey, Daniel Leathers, good to see us on Facebook Live. Yes, I'm going to bow hunt the moose. Dan, I bow hunt everything, so yes, we'll do that. Dan Anderson, good morning. I'm sorry, Jonathan, I got to say hi to everybody here real quick. John, glad your Envision's doing well. Richard Young, good morning. And Tony says to tell you, John, that they're tree rats.
You know what? They're tree rats, but they have a better PR than most other rats. So.
I'm telling you, they do. And hey, I actually listened to you and Hank talk about that. Who would think that squirrels would be more desired than a good caribou steak? I would have never thought that in 100 years, but that's crazy.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing. Like I said, I would venture a guess that there was probably squirrels on the first Thanksgiving table.
Well, I was just getting ready to say that. Everybody talks about when the first Thanksgiving, when the Europeans first landed on the East Coast, everybody thinks that the first Thanksgiving was a lot of corn and turkey and all that stuff. But I guarantee you there was a lot of squirrel on that table.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why I think in terms of a sustainability perspective, squirrels have the highest fat content of any game animal there is.
Oh, I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah. If you look at they have a really high cholesterol level, and it's because they have more kind of intermuscular fat than say deer or turkeys or anything else. So.
Well, that kind of makes sense to me because just good morning, Wayne. Good morning, Wayne. How you doing, Mr. Rogers, Pastor Rogers? They look at what they eat. I mean, they're eating nuts and stuff all the time, right?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good protein source, but there's some fat in there.
Yeah, and that's what helps when you're cooking them too. I mean, just it keeps them moist.
You don't have to add pork to your squirrel.
No, you do not.
You do not. So I want to take a step back. One of the things that really fascinated me when I was listening to you and Hank was, there's certain parts of the United States that are famous about some of their squirrels. Like in Illinois, there's a couple communities that have white squirrels, and I mean these people, if you run over one of those squirrels, you better get out of town because they're gonna string you up by your thumbs. I mean they're protective of those white squirrels.
Yeah, so this is like the for most folks who don't know, this is like the great white squirrel debate, because there's two towns that claim ownership of the home of the white squirrel.
Yeah.
One is Marionville, Missouri, and the other is Olney, Illinois.
Uh-huh.
And they both have white squirrels. If you visit there, even like the police have a white squirrel on their emblem in Marionville. It's pretty impressive.
Well, I think I didn't. Now, see, I missed that if you guys talked about that in the podcast, I missed that. I think that's awesome. You know what?
Yeah.
So, I'm from St. Louis or west of St. Louis, a little small town I grew up in, but I didn't know about the Missouri town that had the white squirrels.
Oh yeah. Marionville and Olney always argue over which one is the home. Where they were first.
Now, John, are they a gray squirrel? Are they a gray squirrel subspecies, or is it a fox squirrel subspecies?
Yeah, those two towns. So one of the big differences is these are not albinos. Albinos, would be white and have the pink eyes. These actually have normal colored eyes. They've lost the melanin in their fur producing gene and just produce white squirrels. But yeah, these are a color variation of a gray squirrel.
Okay, so it's a gray squirrel. So and just to educate everybody, fox squirrels or red squirrels. Some here in Iowa, I've heard them called both. Those are usually the bigger size squirrels, and those are homebodies. Those kind of hang around. Now, Jonathan, if I'm not saying this right, please correct me, okay? But from everything I was always taught when I was getting brought up squirrel hunting in Missouri, the red squirrels are the homebodies. The gray squirrels are the ones that actually they move around as food sources and territory changes.
Yeah, and they just kind of live in two completely different habitats. Like the eastern gray squirrel, like you generally think of, they like it where it's thick. Even on the ground where there's like a lot of like small shrubs and tanglefoot and all that underneath the trees. Where fox squirrel is kind of more like windrows,
mm-hmm.
Where it's kind of more open habitat underneath. But yeah, the fox squirrels get really a little bit bigger than the gray squirrels do physically. But yeah, they tend to be a little slower, a little clumsier. They're actually not the best climbers sometimes. I've seen them fall out of trees way more often than gray squirrels. So
I love, fox squirrels are funny. I don't know how many times I've had them in my tree stand. Like in the morning, I usually take Pop-Tarts out with me for breakfast. Because I leave at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and I'll either grab some coffee or a Diet Mountain Dew or something, and then I usually just take a bag of a package of Pop-Tarts. By the end of the season, those squirrels are waiting at the bottom of my stand for Pop-Tarts. I mean, they love Pop-Tarts, Jonathan. They do. They are opportunistic Pop-Tart eaters.
Very true.
Yeah, and I'm Dennis. Good morning, Dennis. Dennis says he's been over to Illinois to see the white squirrels. There you go, Dennis. it's amazing to me how a red squirrel or a fox squirrel can sound like a deer coming through the woods. Gray squirrels, you can hear a little bit. But, I mean, some of these things, you think these things are 10 pounds, man, the way they're coming through the timber. And you look over and there's a squirrel looking at you.
Yeah, they're very heavy-footed in how they motor around and stuff, jumping on leaves and all that.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, when I was growing up, the squirrels were one of the first things that I learned how to hunt. I still think there's a couple of things that I think are just traditions in America that any income structure, any income status can go and take your kids out and introduce them to the outdoors. Plus, at the same time, help them build woodsmanship skills while you're out there. Squirrel hunting is one of the best. You get out there and you get to learn about the different trees, you know, the different leaves, you know, red oaks, white oaks, you know, what the acorns, what the walnut trees look like. You get to learn about, you know, how to listen for the squirrels. Like I was always taught, you know, my favorite thing to do was get out there before morning, before the sun comes up. You lean against the tree. And one of my favorite times to go squirrel hunting was after a rain, because you can hear them in the tree canopies working and cutting nuts. I mean, all you got to do is listen for the raindrops hitting the floor of the timber, and you can go get underneath them and get your squirrel. So there's a lot.
Yeah.
You get to learn a lot of woodsmanship with squirrel hunting.
Yeah, rainy days are great, particularly just because it helps, you know, cover your footsteps as you're walking through as well, because the squirrels are very in tune to the whole crunching leaves. I mean, I think they know what we sound like versus the deer. So
yeah, and I'm going to say I've said this on the show. I've been doing the show for 25 years, and I've been bow hunting for 33, and I learned this probably 3 or 4 years into my hunting career. When a squirrel starts barking, you really need to pay attention to that. If they just start barking for no reason, there's something going on that they don't like. And 9 times out of 10, you either got turkey or deer or something else coming into his territory that he's not happy about. And when you hear a squirrel chatter or barking, I don't know how many times I've actually seen does and other deer. Their behavior totally changes, and they'll go to alert. And then I've filmed this, I don't know how many times, filming the TV show, where they've actually went and walked to where that squirrel was to see what was going on, because deer are so curious, and they know that there's something different going on, and they pay attention to that, Jonathan.
Yeah, no, they absolutely do. I mean, that's one of the key things. When I'm sitting out in the woods and listening, I mean, there's 2 things that I want to listen for, and it's squirrels or birds. You know, birds will shut up completely when something kind of walks into their AO, you know, or flutter off because they don't like things being that close.
Right.
Yeah, the squirrels definitely. That's one of the kind of their major features is that you know, barking kind of alarm chatter that, you know, something's not right, something's going on, something's moving around.
Yep, it's crazy. Good morning, Roger in New York. Good to see you, buddy. Roger said it's 5 degrees up there. It's chilly here, but yeah, good luck with that, Raj. Jonathan, what's the temperature in Arizona today?
It'll probably get up into the 70s today.
Oh, I don't know how you're putting up with that, buddy.
I know, it's terrible.
So you're a small game biologist by trade, right?
Yeah, I've been doing small game for a number of years. I was on the probably about the past 11 years. I did about half of that with upland birds and squirrels and rabbits, you know, some of the mammals, and then a few years ago I moved into the migratory bird arena. So
that's awesome. Hey, I gotta take you got time for me to keep you for a little bit?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to take a break, and when we come back, I want to talk about the black squirrels on the East Coast, and when the Europeans arrived in this continent, how I want to talk about that story, because that fascinated me. I had no idea about the black squirrels and that. Folks, this is gonna blow your mind. Can we do that when we come back, Jonathan?
Sure, absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back on 1350 ESPN.
This is the Outdoor Call.
I told you this was going to be awesome. This is a great interview.
Sports leader.
Wait till you hear about these black squirrels.
Hey, are
this
you
is
in the
crazy.
market for a new RV this year? Here's a place to help you start looking for that new travel partner for your next vacation or outdoor adventure. Head on over to the friendly folks at Imperial Rv Center in Ankeny. Imperial RV has been serving Iowa camping enthusiasts for 50 years. They carry pull-behind or fifth-wheel RVs from Sprinter, Hideout, Passport, and Alpine. They now carry SMC horse trailers that have built-in living quarters for rodeo and horse lovers. Imperial RV also features a full-service center ready for any repair that your RV might have. Imperial RV can finance on-site to help you with all your financing needs. They also have a full-service parts department for anything you might need to keep your camper going. They're open Monday through Saturday, located at 1727 South Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny, Iowa. Please call them at 515-964-1424 or check them out online at ImperialRVCenter.com. That's ImperialRVCenter.com.
Do you have a piece of paper that you could take some winter stuff for?
At American Family Life Insurance, we know that protecting your family's financial future is a priority. And life
there you go,
insurance
Michael.
is an easy way to help make that happen. You'll feel
That's
good.
cool. I haven't seen a black squirrel in Iowa.
Most if you were to pass away. Plus, life insurance is often more affordable than you think. Let's talk about options that fit you. Contact Darren Islander, agent at 515-964-7575 today.
American Family Insurance.
American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You were hunting, and a deer tick just crawled onto your leg and is burying its
Not my
nose in the
leg.
flesh.
I got a lemon tick on. I don't worry about them ticks.
You may or may not find the tick. In the coming weeks, you may or may not notice a red ring around the body.
I got to get a snow
Shortly
camera.
thereafter, you may or may not get really sick. Your doctor may or may not
See, with
test
that
you
gray
for
hair,
Lyme
that
disease.
snow
The
camel
test
just
may
blends
or
right
may
in.
not detect it, meaning you may or may not.
It's like a natural transition.
If untreated or not treated on time, you could have a lifetime of complications.
Oh, I
Don't
cannot
take
wait
that
for turkey
chance.
season. Man,
Get
I
a
can't.
limited
Crappies.
clothing from
Well, they're
Game
catching crappie in
A
Missouri
limited
like
features
crazy right
insect
now.
shield, a
Down at
repellent
Mark
that is
Twain and
fused to the
Truman,
fabric
they're catching
fibers.
some
Ticks
slabs,
hate
man.
it. A limited clothing will retain its effectiveness for the life of the garment.
You need
and
some
needs
fresh
no
fish?
special care.
You don't want to ice fish? Go down to
It's
Missouri.
odorless and invisible. Wearing a Limitic can help protect you from
Big old
ticks,
jigging
chiggers, and other
spoons,
biting insects, and is
they're
featured in a complete
smoking 'em.
line of quality game hide hunting clothing. To learn more, visit GameHide.com.
As we head to the fields this hunting season, you need to remember to work up your pet's activity level slowly. Don't take them out on opening day and expect them to perform without having any previous exercise. Remember to have a proper first aid kit for your pet when you go into the field. That should include bandage materials, gauze, antibiotic ointment, and items that could be used as a splint if needed, plus a muzzle. Even friendly dogs will bite if they're in pain. Please make sure your pet is current on all vaccines before you head out. Your pet should also have a good physical exam to make sure she is healthy enough to go hunting. Always provide your pet with protection from the elements, and this includes a high-quality pet carrier for the trips, a blaze orange hunting vest which makes your pet more visible and provides protection from the bush as he or she runs through. Be careful and have fun. Remember, this is what most of our dogs were born to do. This message has been brought to you by Dr. Steve from Westfield Veterinary Hospital. For questions about keeping your pet healthy, contact Dr. Steve by phone at 515-960-65-PET.
Right now.
Westfield Veterinary Hospital for the life of your pet.
Hush puppies.
Hello, this is Dave from JLM Shooter Supply in Urbandale.
Oh, yeah.
We are a
Hey,
full-service gun
I
shop
could
that
eat fish for
specializes in
breakfast.
helping you find the right
I go
firearm.
walleye fishing up in Minnesota and stuff.
Firearms for
I
all
eat
shooting
walleye for
disciplines,
breakfast,
from
man.
self-defense to shooting enthusiasts, as well as folks who
That's-
like to hunt.
there's nothing better
We have
than that.
recently expanded our store to better serve your needs. We still accept trades on all types of guns. We'll also look at any firearm you might wish to sell.
Where I just traded mine in. They took care of me.
Shooter Supply carries firearms to meet any budget, and we can even special order items for those who like to add higher-end guns to their collection. JLM also has a full-time gunsmith on board that can help with all your gun repair needs. So from ammo and hearing
Really,
protection
Kenny?
to gun cleaning kits, holsters, and sights,
Huh.
we handle it all at JLM Shooter Supply in Urbandale.
Kenny says that there's squirrels in Indianola. Black squirrels.
6931 Douglas Avenue in Urbandale. Or call us at 515-331-1577. That's 515-331-1577.
All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 1350 ESPN. Hope everyone's doing well today. We're getting a lot of squirrel chatter on the old Facebook Live this morning. I'll tell you, Kenny just says that there's squirrels down, black squirrels down in Indianola, And Michael says there's some black squirrels down by where he works in Valley Junction. So I haven't seen a black squirrel in Iowa since I've been here. So my guest is Jonathan Odell. He is a biologist for the Arizona Game and Fish, and I heard Jonathan talking with our buddy Hank Shaw about squirrels, and I was so fascinated. I asked him if he'd be kind enough to come on and visit with us here on the radio. So Jonathan, talk about black squirrels. How common or rare are black squirrels in the United States?
Well, yeah. So there's actually a lot of kind of holdouts for black squirrels, both fox squirrels as well as gray squirrels around the country. I mean, you've got some black fox squirrels down in the Mississippi Delta region. There's a real good population of black squirrels in parts of Michigan. And then there's obviously some towns. There's like Exeter, Ontario, or Brevard, North Carolina. They're kind of a little bit of a patchwork now. But that gene for the black coat is still out there, and so they'll produce black squirrels every once in a while.
So now, if I understood when you and Hank were talking the other day, when the Europeans first got to this continent, to America, when the tree canopies were so dense and thick, the majority of squirrels were black squirrels. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, so the eastern hardwoods and all that stuff, by the time the European settlers got here, they were mature, really old growth trees with the very large canopies that were interlocking. And so it really kind of what we call a dark forest.
Right.
Where it wasn't letting a lot of light through down to the lower layers. So.
Well, and was the reason that their fur was black? Was it just to help them avoid predators and stuff?
Yeah, predominantly because they were in a dark forest, it made more sense to be a darker color to avoid predators and stuff as you're running around in the canopy or even on the floor, on the forest floor and all that. You were less likely to get seen by hawks and all those things. And of course, hawks didn't have the great ability to fly through the trees, or at least some didn't. And so it would kind of protect you in a sense, being a dark color versus a gray color during that time, because you would stand out a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, now, so as things changed, as the forest got opened up and people started opening the forest up and relocating towns and settling out in the open, is that when a lot of the squirrels, their fur started changing to the different shades or colors?
Yeah, there started getting more light inside of it, more predators moving around. It was easier to pick off the black ones because, as you can see now, I mean, anyone who's ever seen a black squirrel out there in the woods, they really stand out, obviously, on the tree trunks and, when they're running around versus the grays that, can hide really well against a limb that's got light on it. So.
Well, that makes sense. I never knew that until I heard you guys talk about that. I think that should be taught in every school in the country about. Go ahead.
That also changed if you look at the flying squirrels, northern and southern flying squirrels here in the United States, it changed a lot of things because northern flying squirrels need really tall, old growth trees. That's what they prefer. And so they probably extended much further south in the United States prior to the European settlement, because when we changed over the forest like that became more beneficial for the southern flying squirrel, which now you can see clear up the eastern seaboard and most of the way up the United States, because the trees are very different, and the northern tree squirrel is only up in the kind of those northern reaches where there's still some large old growth forests. So.
Yeah, I think flying squirrels are some of the neatest critters on earth. Those things, when they glide, that's amazing to me.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they evolved many years ago very differently than some of the other squirrels. I mean, that's kind of a big key point. Is I always like to tell people, when you look at least North America, the division of squirrels, there's 3 classifications. You have your flying squirrels, your tree squirrels, and then your ground squirrels. And 3 kind of very different life strategies and where they nest and how they hang out. But, there really isn't a forest that isn't somehow dependent on squirrels in one way or another.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, one of the squirrels that drives me absolutely nuts, no pun intended, is when I'm out elk hunting in Colorado, or I'm up in northern Minnesota bear hunting, is those pine squirrels. Man, they are noisy.
Oh yes.
And their bark is totally different than our squirrels in the Midwest.
Yeah, they have that machine gun chatter sometimes.
Yeah.
Just really rapid fire. Yeah, those are the ones that definitely get the most annoyed with you being in their AOs.
Oh, now I'm not making this up. Now, Jonathan, you tell everybody if I'm fibbing on this. Pine squirrels will actually go above you, and they will cut pines off the tree to fall on you to get you out of their area. They will bomb you. I'm not making that up. They do that. I've had them do that to me several times.
Yeah, I've had those ones definitely do it. I've had other squirrels, throw pine cones at me or whatnot when you're out there. But
I'm sitting there bear hunting. I'm sitting there, and you got to be super still because bears have horrible eyesight, but they have a really keen nose. They got a better nose than a white-tailed deer, and they can hear very, very good. So you really got to be still and not make a noise. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear tink, tink, and then something hits my shoulder, and then my hat. I look up, and it's not raining. And then I just happen to look up above me, and about 5 feet above me, there's a squirrel chunking pine cones at me and stuff. I said, "You got to be kidding me!" And he's sitting there. I mean, you know how they do that fast chatter thing? I'm telling you what, he's lucky I was bow hunting. I'm telling you.
Yeah, the red squirrels are funny in a lot of ways. I mean, I've often, because they live in spruce fir trees, that's what they feed off of. They get really strong terpenes from the cones and everything that they eat there, and so I've often referred to them as like your best cut of chicken marinated in pine salt.
That's funny. I think that's funny. Well, I got to ask you, to me, I grew up with fried squirrels, mashed potatoes, milk gravy, and green beans. That was manna from heaven right there.
That's kind of one of those classic dishes.
Yeah, and then squirrel and dumplings. Who doesn't love squirrel and dumplings? And squirrel and noodles. Those are my 3 favorite ways to have squirrel.
Yeah.
What's yours?
For the World Championship Squirrel Cook-Off about a few years back.
Oh, now wait a minute. Before you tell them about that, tell everybody what that is.
So, for probably about the past, 10 years or so, a buddy of mine, Joe Wilson, has been hosting the World Championship Squirrel Cook-Off in Arkansas, in Bentonville. The home of Walmart. Where else would you have it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's brought together a lot of folks from across the country. Just love squirrel and enjoy squirrel and all that stuff. And he's actually got a funny story how he started that. It was actually based on a lie. The Andrew Zimmern from Bizarre Foods, the guy who was eating all kinds of weird stuff, he was coming to the Ozarks, wanted to do an Ozark edition, and asked Joe, he's like, we'd like to, film, this, that, or the other thing, whatever they were cooking. He said, and we were hoping, I don't know if you guys, cook squirrels. And he said, well, man, we have World Championship squirrel cooking here. And so that's what started the entire thing. So he had to scramble to call a bunch of his buddies to get together for the very first one, to host a World Championship Squirrel Cook-Off for the television show.
Yeah, I've had him on the radio. He's a really nice guy, and that's a neat deal down there.
Yeah, it really is.
And it's amazing how the locals always win that, though. And didn't you got like 3rd place, didn't you?
Yeah, so I was there. My first year was actually year 3.
Yep.
And we had 40 teams from 19 states. And that was the first year the restaurants showed up. So we had some real, high quality chefs there producing. So me taking 3rd place, I felt like it kind of was a first place win as an amateur. So.
Oh, you did great. What was your dish?
So I actually did it's a squirrel enchilada, but Sonoran style. And so here in Sonora, they don't do like the rolls where they roll the meat inside tortillas and then, have it in the sauce. They actually create these kind of flat masa cakes, really delicious. And then they pour the kind of the Mexican meat sauce all over the top of it with cheese and pico de gallo and all that stuff. So,
well, that sounds good.
Yeah, I did a homemade green chili for it and everything, and it was super delicious. That's kind of been my favorite way to eat them as of late. But I love them barbecued.
Yeah, what
any way they'll come. So,
how did Hank say he liked to do his?
Him and I talked about the one secret about fried squirrel and gravy that no one ever tells you is that to do it right, you've got to have young of the year squirrels.
Yeah.
It seems to be the secret in cooking, because if you ever cook one that's older than the first year, boy, they're tougher than just nails. So.
Well, you got to marinate. You got to let them marinate a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A little buttermilk. Put them in some buttermilk and stuff. Let them sit in the fridge for a little bit, and it softens them up a little bit. But I was out in your neck of the woods probably 15, 16 years ago. You know where the Dos Cabezas Mountains are? Yep. I'm sure you do. You're a biologist. I got my very first javelina down there, just a little bit I guess north of Wilcox, Arizona.
Yep.
And man, I got to tell you what, beautiful country down there. But those javelinas, there's got to be the stinkiest animal I've ever hunted, spot and stalked in my life. And when I field dressed that javelina, it took me a week to get that scent gland off my hands, man.
Yeah, the scent gland that they have is very, very powerful.
Oh, I mean, gas wouldn't even cut it. It was horrible. But boy, I tell you what, they were great tamales, man. Those javelina tamales were amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, for the folks listening who've never kind of experienced it, basically a javelina is a new world pig. You're not going to make great pork tenderloins, the Iowa pork tenderloins like you do here, but
yeah,
you can definitely treat them like pig. And that area you were hunting is actually where they grow fairly sizable. I mean, we have a record book. We keep records on much like you would Boone and Crockett or Pope and Young on javelina. I think we're the only state that does. And that area where you're at down the Dos Cabezas is where you grow them really, really big. So, but yeah, I shot a big one a number of years ago. It was my first like real sizable one. I think he was about 56 pounds on the hoof. And, man, like he was just an old boar and super strong smelling. I literally, by the time I'd gotten him skinned and put him in the cooler, I thought I was going to have to burn the cooler with him to get that scent off. But surprisingly, after a couple of days of just kind of letting it chill out and mellow out, and then getting that silver skin off, the scent really kind of dissipated and became a really great chunk of meat for me. So,
Larry and I off Respect the Game TV. That's the show I'm on right now with Larry McCoy and Ryan Hauser and Paul Biggs on the Sportsman's Channel. We've been trying to figure out how to get back out there and do a January hunt. I might ask you for some help on that next year.
Oh yeah, for sure. Actually, the archery javelina hunts are going on right now as we speak. So.
Yeah, we might try to do that next year. I'm excited about that. But man, so what else do you do besides your biology gig when you're out? Are you out there, or are you an outdoor chef, or how did you and Hank get hooked up?
Yeah, so I met Hank years and years ago, actually at an outdoor writers conference. Because I do a little bit of freelance writing as well as writing for our magazine, and was involved there. And Hank was still, I think it was during his first book tour with the Hunt Gather Cookbook. I sat in on one of his talks, and he said, yeah, he's like, I don't know anyone who has bobcat or something. He's talking about it, and I raised my hand. I'm like, hi, I got plenty of bobcat in my freezer, so. I told him, him and I share a love affair with rabbits and jackrabbits.
Yeah.
So I said, Hank, you got to come to Arizona, man. We got the biggest jackrabbits on the planet. So he came out, we hunted together and cooked, and I've learned a lot from him, and he loves the Sonoran Desert just because you wouldn't think of it, but there's so much food out here on the landscape, more traditional foods and things like that him and I kind of grew a great friendship and stuff. And we usually hunt together at least every year, somewhere doing something. But we hunted around a lot, cooked a lot. Hank's pretty particular when it comes to cooking, and the blessing is that now he knows I won't try to kill him with anything I'm cooking, so he'll at least eat my food. So.
We love Hank Shaw. He's a good guy. Hey, Jonathan, I need to take one more quick break. When we come back, can we talk, before I let you go, I want to talk about that gun, how your buddy got a squirrel gun made for him. Can we talk about that?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, we'll be right back with Jonathan Odell right here with the Outdoor Call Radio on 1350 ESPN.
You're listening to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 1350 ESPN.
Hi, this is Dr. Don Gilbert from New Life Counseling Services with offices in West Des Moines and Ankeny, Iowa. I know things can be tough in the world today. I see it every day. People dealing with relationship issues, parenting struggles, anxiety, depression, or folks just looking for a new direction or plan in their life. If you find yourself struggling and are looking for someone to help you find answers to a better relationship, a marriage, or just helping with everyday stress, please consider calling.
Morning, Jake. How you doing, bud?
Family-friendly, straightforward approach to helping you to get through the layers.
Told you this was going to be a fun interview. This guy's great.
The staff at New Life
he knows more about squirrels than I have ever learned in my 58 years on this planet.
Discover better choices on
Did I
how to
just say
handle the
58?
issues you might be dealing with
57.
in your
I got another
life.
month
When you're
yet.
looking for someone to listen to you, we're here. Please consider calling us for a confidential appointment at New Life, 515-225-4006 in West Des Moines, or 964-5003 in Ankeny. Also find us 24/7 at newlifecounseling.com. We are here to help you when you need us.
In the mood for a great family treat or a special gift idea? Hop on over to the Lotta Pop
Who's
store,
that?
located at
I know that
647 South
voice.
Ankeny Boulevard in
He used to
Ankeny.
work here.
That's where you'll find over 30 fresh flavors of the most delicious Iowa-grown popcorn in the central Iowa area. You'll love the fresh pop flavors like caramel apple, kettle corn, jalapeno cheddar
You
cheese,
learned a lot
birthday
about
cake,
squirrels today, aren't
patriotic
you?
mix, just to name a few. You'll find something for everyone.
Probably
at
more than you
Lotta
ever
Pop in
thought
Ankeny.
you'd learn.
Harley and his crew can help you pick out the perfect variety pack, tin or gift package. Lotta Pop has everything you'll need, from ready-to-eat popcorn to all the fixings to make great popcorn.
Yeah,
at
I didn't know
any
that
rate.
either, to be honest with
Everyone
you.
loves popcorn, especially when it's from Lotta Pop. It's the same great popcorn you'll find at the Iowa
Yep.
State Games, locally grown and popped to perfection.
There's
Lotta Pop can help
something
with any
else.
special occasion, corporate events,
And
and
them
special
squirrels,
fundraising for your school.
them old
For more
squirrels.
information, contact Lotta Pop at 515-262-3243 or go online at lottapop.com. Lotta Pop, great tasting popcorn from Iowa since 1969.
If bow hunting or archery is your passion, get to Archery Field and Sports in Altoona
Yeah.
and see what's new in your sport.
Things go right,
Archery
I'll be
Field
having
and
a
Sports has
Stephanie
been
and
helping
pizza
archers
tonight.
and bow hunters for generations. They have the experience to help you with your purchase
It's been
and
2
help
years
you
since
reach
I've
your
had a
goals.
Stephanie and pizza.
Archery Field and Sports carries archery gear from Matthews, Hoyt, Bowtech,
Yeah,
and
go
Bear,
down and see my
plus
mom.
all the top extras and accessories you'll ever need. Mark and his staff are trained on all the
I haven't
latest
seen Mom in
tuning
2
and
years.
setup techniques, and are experts at personally fitting
Been
you
crazy.
to the
She's
bow
89.
you
I don't know how much
They
longer
also
I'm
have
going to
a
have.
40-yard indoor range that will help you with getting sighted in. Archery Field and Sports has leagues and personal training sessions available for you to train for the upcoming seasons that'll help you fill your tags. Archery Field and Sports at East 56th Street in Altoona. Open Tuesday through Sunday with leagues during the week. For more information, go to archeryfield.com or call 515-265-6500.
When you go big game hunting, do you go the extra
This hour's
step
going
and
quick.
try to stay undetected and lethal? Well, lethal
Anybody going
products can
fishing
help you
today?
do that every trip. It starts by washing your clothes with the Lethal Products scent-free detergents, providing a layer of protection to avoid their noses. The next step
I
is
need to
taking
get
a
some new
scent-free
Food
shower
Saver bags.
using
My
lethal
Food
shampoo
Sealer
and
is
body wash
out of.
and
I'm out of
deodorant.
bags.
Then spraying down when you get to your hunting area.
Gotta have my
Lethal
Food
Products
Saver,
Human
man.
Dirt cover sprays. If you do this system, your encounters will go way up while hunting big game, keeping your stink to a minimum. Lethal Products also feature field body wipes that you can use to wipe down after walking into the tree on warmer days or emergencies in the field. Lethal Products also provides protection from little pests like ticks and mosquitoes with their bug and tick repellent. Lethal Products is a hunting system you can count on. For more information on Lethal Products, just go to lethalproducts.com. That's lethalproducts.com. Or Archery Field and Sports in Altoona. Lethal Products will help you be lethal in the field.
Hey America, when you barbecue, cookies is the one. Lots of flavor, lots of
I'm just gonna have the first two callers call in, and just say if that person calls, just say okay, please hold, and then just take another one. And then just say if he doesn't hang up, just tell him we had two people.
Hey guys, Jackie Bushman here with Buckmasters. When it comes to food plot seed and deer feed, the Mississippi-based Backwoods Attractions product line has you covered. From their food plot blends like Trophy Acre, Lazy Acre, Clover Deluxe, and the popular Dixie 6, to their attractants like Game Changer, Sweet Stuff, and Buck Robber. The best way to put it is, if you're not using Backwoods Attraction products, you better hope your neighbor isn't either. From small to large acreage, Backwoods Attraction has the feed and seed perfect for your hunting property. So do yourself a favor and swing by and support your local co-op or farm supply store and ask for Backwoods Attraction to set yourself up for a successful fall.
Talking, I won't be able to take another
All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan. I hope everyone's having a great Saturday morning, and thank you so much for making us part of your weekend here on 1350 ESPN. My guest is Jonathan Odell. He is an Arizona game biologist, small game and upland and all that other fine stuff, and a squirrel aficionado. And we're talking squirrels today. Hey, I had an email real quick from Mark and Gail. They wanted to know, John, is there a noticeable difference between fox and gray squirrel in the taste? I would say no, but what's your opinion?
No, not too much. I mean, not that would be incredibly noticeable. Probably depends maybe a little bit on where they're feeding and what they're feeding on.
Yeah.
I've noticed a little bit of difference in different parts of the country. Whether they're feeding on hickory nuts or, whether other ones are feeding on walnuts, things like that.
Well,
it changes the taste a little bit.
Oh, I'm telling you what, hickory, walnuts and hickories, to me, they almost have a little sweeter flavor to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that because of the tannins and the acorns and stuff, or?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's,
ding, hey, I got something right, folks. Did you hear that? Ding, 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 ding. Thank you.
You are what you eat, and so in some cases, and so it'll pass some of that flavor on into the meat. If you're absorbing that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about this squirrel gun. I thought this was a pretty cool story.
Yeah. So for any hunter who shoots a rifle out there, all the big game hunters, all that other stuff, they really need to give it up to squirrels because squirrels are the reason why it came about. You go all the way back to the Kentucky squirrel rifle. I mean, that's where, American craftsmanship with rifles really, really kind of stood out. And so it all kind of goes back to that Kentucky squirrel rifle. But more recently, so a good friend of mine, Clifton Jackson, he's the small game biologist for Arkansas. He's one heck of a squirrel hunter down there in Arkansas. Boy, he spends a lot of days out in the woods. But there was a gentleman named Bill Cooper who started Cooper Firearms. He used to work for Timber and then started his own custom firearms manufacturer there in Montana. And when he was first starting out, they went out and were trying to show folks their product line and what they had and everything. And Clifton ran into him at one of the sports shows or sporting goods stores or something like that. They were kind of showing off their product, and he kind of, elbowed him a little bit and said, "Hey, how come you don't make a good rimfire, rifle?" And they were like, "Well, we just haven't got there yet or whatnot." And they got to talking about squirrel hunting, and all the guys that were with Bill at the time all grew up squirrel hunting. And so Clifton invited him out. He said, "Well, if you guys are hanging around for a little bit, why don't you come out squirrel?" And he's like, "Well, we can't do it on this trip, but by God, we'll come back." And so they did a little while later, organized with Clifton, and they went out to the White River area there in Arkansas and went squirrel hunting and just had the time of their life. Clifton knows where all the squirrels are in Arkansas, so they had a pretty good shoot that day. Well, they went back to Montana. They said, you know what, we're gonna make Clifton a great squirrel rifle, for out there, just as kind of a thank you. And so they did send him the rifle, and Bill called him up a little while later and said, hey, what do you think of that gun? He's like, yeah, it's pretty good. Bill could kind of tell. He's like, well, what do you mean? He's like, well, it's a good 22, but it's just not a good, a kind of a real ideal squirrel rifle. It's beautiful, but it's not a good squirrel rifle. And Bill said, well, what would you do if you were making a squirrel rifle? And so Clifton named off a bunch of things like, beaver tail fore end and a rollover cheek piece and this, that, and the other thing. And Bill was taking notes the whole time he was talking to him. And a little while later, he went ahead and built the exact gun that Clifton was talking to him about over the phone and sent him that one. And that actually became the Jackson Squirrel Rifle #1.
Really?
Serial #1, yeah. And so if you go to the Cooper Firearms website, they have a bunch of fine guns and do all their own custom woodwork. They make beautiful guns, but you can get the Jackson Squirrel Rifle or the Jackson package on any of their rifles now. So, but yeah, that's where it all started from. That you hear the name Jackson. It's Clifton Jackson out of Arkansas on the Cooper Squirrel on any of the Cooper rifles. So
that's a great story. That's all right. I'll have to check that out and see what it looks like. So,
and it really is the Ferrari of squirrel rifles. That's what I always call it. I mean, it is just an accurate, unbelievable gun. Clifton was gracious enough to let me shoot it, a few times, and it is pretty awesome. I don't have one of the Jackson squirrel rifles yet, but I'm hoping one of these days. I got to get one custom made because I'm a cross dominant shooter. And so I grew up shooting right-handed rifles my whole life, but I shoot them left-handed, and I hate left-handed guns now because they don't feel right. So I need a right-handed gun and a left-handed stock.
Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah.
It's the absolute worst. I'm left-handed, and it's the bane of my existence. I actually have marks on my right arm from where a rifle would eject shells, or maybe not a rifle, but a gun that I've shot before would eject shells onto my arm this way, in this direction.
Hot shells burning your forearm or something like that.
Oh, yeah. It's, I feel your pain, man. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you hit a chord with Kira there, so there you go. Hey, can we get you back on the show?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll send you some dates, and we'll get you back on this summer sometime. And like I said, Jonathan, anything going on out in Arizona that you think the listeners in the Midwest would love to hear about, please email me or text me. I'd love to get you on any time. But we'll get you back on. We'll get you back on talking small game and stuff. I just enjoy the topic, and there's a lot of folks. Like I said, that's usually what they go out hunting for. The small game is the most economical and easy thing to do to get families out there hunting together, and it doesn't cost a lot of money, right?
No, it's probably one of the easiest, most affordable things you can do, and it's great hunting for what it is. It also is a great training ground for stepping into larger game too. So
yeah, you betcha. If someone wants to get a hold of you and for questions and stuff, how can they do that?
Yeah, they can email me. It's jodell@azgfd.gov.
And can they find you on social media?
Oh yeah, I'm all over social media. I actually have my own podcast now too. You can look on Instagram, From the Back Burner Podcast. You'll find me on there, and then I also have a Facebook as well as my personal Instagram, which is Cyrus Hunter. Cyrus is the Greek and Latin name for squirrel, SCIURUS, Hunter. And I had that for a long time, but yeah, I'm definitely out there and looking at cool stuff. So
there you go. All right, well, listen, it's been a pleasure, buddy, and I'll talk to you. I'll give you a holler after the show here in a little bit. You gonna be around this morning?
Yeah, that sounds great, Dan.
All right, thanks, Jonathan. I appreciate you.
Can I give a shout out to my Iowa folks?
Absolutely.
Hey, I just want to say hi to Chip Levi and Renee Whitrock out there in Iowa. Morning. I know they're listening.
Well, there you go. That's exciting. Any friend of yours is a friend of mine, buddy.
All right. Appreciate it, Dan.
Thanks, Jonathan. I'll talk to you soon, man. God bless you.
You bet.
Thank you. There he goes, Jonathan Odell. All right, what a great! I told you that was going to be a great interview. I'm telling you that you got to go to the Outdoor Call Radio and get that app and listen to Hank and Scott on Thursdays, because I'll play that Jonathan and Hank show again in a couple weeks, and so you get a chance if you missed it. It's worth listening to the show. It's that what we talked about is just the tip of the iceberg. Hey, I only got 4 minutes. I tell you what, I'm going to take the first couple callers here at 244-1350, 244-1350. If you haven't won anything in the last 30 days, you can call 244-1350, and I'll give you a pair. First two callers, I'll give you a pair of Iowa Deer Classic tickets. And before we get out of the air here, real quick, all right. So while Kara's doing that, I want to tell you about Advanced Family Dentistry. Dr. Scott Obi-Wan Kenobi Yegi is over there at 907 North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny, Iowa. You can find him at 515-964-1490. That's the phone number to call. If you want the smile you always want, 515-964-1490. You can find him at 907 North Ankeny Boulevard. They have been voted the best dentist shop in Ankeny, I don't know how many years running now. And I know the reason. By the time
we got John online too.
Oh, just go ahead and tell him they won. Oh, okay. Yeah, just I know the reason. As soon as you walk through that door, they greet you so nicely. They settle you down. They take care of any of your paperwork that you need to do, and then they get you right into the rooms. They get your teeth clean. They do your X-rays. They are so gentle. They are so nice. And then whether it's Dr. Brandt, Dr. Stewart, Dr. Yagi, Dr. Williams, or Obi-Wan Kenobi, they just really take great care of you. I will not trust anybody else with my smile, and that's where I'm going to go. And the reason for that, I'm a big baby. I don't like going to the dentist, and I tell you, I've had root canals, I've had crowns put on, cavities filled, and they do not hurt me. And that's important to me. And I tell you, my teeth have never been better. And I owe it to the fine folks at Advanced Family Dentistry. So if you want to make an appointment, you can find them online at ankenysmiles.com, or you can always just call them at 515-964-1490. Tell them Outdoors Dan sent you. And, I always call him a Jedi dentist, but, the reason why is because he uses the Force to calm me down. When you leave, tell them, hey, may the floss be with you. That way they know you heard it on the show. They need to get mugs made like that. They really do. Dave Jones Taxidermy. I want to thank Dave and all the gangs over him and Harv. 515-249-4362. If you want more information about the platform, just go to theoutdoorcallradio.com. That's theoutdoorcallradio.com. And if you're tuning in for the first time and you missed like the show we just Jonathan Odell, we just had Jonathan on. If you want to hear more about that kind of stuff, the Outdoor Call Radio Network, I've got waterfowl talk, hunting, fishing, cooking, food plot talk. I mean, we got everything you would ever want to hear 24/7, 7 days a week. It's all free. The Outdoor Call Radio Network. Just go to iTunes if you got an iPhone and look up the Outdoor Call Radio app. If you got an Android, go to Google Play and look it up in Google Play. Same thing, Outdoor Call Radio app. Or Alexa, you can go to the Alexa skill stores. It's free, folks. It won't cost you anything, and you might win some nice swag. Or we got a hunting trip coming up that's going to blow your mind. We're going to be giving away this summer. So a lot of cool stuff happening on there. So, and we got the new show on Wednesdays. If you want to, if you're looking for something to listen to on Wednesdays at 5:00, we've got the Wednesday Drive. That's a brand new show. We're in our third week, Andrew and I. So we're live on that network every Wednesday at 5 to 6, the Wednesday Drive. So tune in there, and 2 times a week they bring the outdoors to you here in Iowa, or on the app anywhere. So that's kind of cool. Man, that was a fun last hour. We got some more great guests coming up in the next couple weeks. I appreciate that, and we'll have Jonathan back on again. I told you were going to like that. I loved it. I learned a ton of stuff there, and I hope you did too. All right, I got to go. Andrew and I will be back, God willing, next Saturday. Until then, please keep it here on 1350 ESPN. And if you need me, just go to theoutdoorcallradio.com. My email's right there. Or hit me up on Facebook. Until then, God bless, and see you next week, everybody.
Taping your own hunts is an exciting way to capture the moment.
Hey, we did it. We got another show in the books. Bill, good morning, buddy. Jacob, good morning. Raj. They are huge. You guys be good, and thanks for everything. I'll talk to you soon. Be safe.
The bases are affordable and easy to set up.